Yes, so today we are going to start with the next topic. Just a minute. What happened? One second. Yes, so we will be learning about what do we mean by separable extension of a field. So for that, I have to take you back towards a few results which we already discussed while discussing the topic multiple zeros of polynomials. So we already had few results regarding that what do we mean by multiple zeros. I hope the definition is clear to everybody. And then some results for their connecting few uh, functions and its derivatives. So there were many ways of looking at whether there exists a multiple zero of a polynomial or not. So I'll be just listing out those results because now this is what which is going to lead us towards the definition of separable extension. So I need to build it up that way. Okay, so let me just give you result one. So their proofs are very simple. They're actually lemmas for a big theorem, which we will be doing. So I'm not going to give you their proofs. The proofs are already in the book. You can have a look from that. So this is the first result. Let fx belongs to fx be a non-constant polynomial, then an element alpha of the field extension k of f is a multiple zero or a multiple root of fx if and only if it is a common root of fx and f dash x, right? So this is something we already know, that if we have a root of a polynomial and the multiplicity of that root is going to be greater than 1, that's what we mean by multiple zero, that is multiplicity is greater than 1, if and only if it is also a root of f dash x. So in that case it turns out to be a common root of fx and f dash x, right? So this is the first result, and using this result we have the other result, which is particularly for irreducible polynomial. So this is saying that let fx be an irreducible polynomial over a field f, then fx has a multiple root in some extension of f if and only if f dash x is 0. So this is a very strong result. See, the previous result gives you a very general idea for any non-constant polynomial. It connects the existence of multiplicity or existence of multiple root with the f dash x. This result is also connecting with f dash x, but this is particularly for irreducible polynomial. That if the polynomial is irreducible and then you want to determine whether there will be a multiple root of it or not in some field extension, then that is only going to happen if the derivative is exactly 0. F dash x is equal to 0, right? So this is what which is going to happen. So this is the proof is simple. I'm not going to do the proof. We'll be using this result directly actually in the questions, right? So this question, this result we will be using in the questions, because to finding the common root, common factor of f and f dash, that is a different task, and this one is particularly for irreducible polynomial, so to be used in the questions, this result. So I'll be giving you examples when we will be using that one. So after that, let me define separable polynomial. So you see, now we are heading towards the definition of separable extension. So to build up the definition of separable extension, firstly we need to know what is a separable polynomial. So this is the definition: an irreducible polynomial fx belonging to fx of degree n is said to be separable if it has n distinct roots in its splitting field. Actually, the general definition does not include the word splitting field, but there is no harm in including that, because by the definition of splitting field, we already know that splitting field is that field in which a polynomial splits into linear factors, right? So when it will be splitting into linear factors, so if all of those factors have multiplicity 1, all of those roots have multiplicity 1, means they are all distinct roots, so no factors are repeating, right? So then we will call that polynomial to be separable. So in simple words, if there are no multiple zeros, all roots are simple zeros, then it will be separable. So just like, to give you an example of the same, say you have this polynomial x square minus 2 over qx. So we know that in the splitting field, so this is the splitting field of this polynomial. So in this field, means in this polynomial ring, you can say I can write x square minus 2 as x minus square root 2 and x plus square root 2. It is definitely going to split in linear factors, but if this multiplicity is 1, right? So there are two distinct roots, then that polynomial is said to be separable. So it implies this x square minus 2 is separable. So it's very easy to understand that, right? I'll give you more examples, but this is a very simple example. It should have distinct roots, that's it. Because for the splitting field, we already know that in splitting field, every polynomial is going to split in linear factors, and each of the factor is having same multiplicity. Now we are saying if the multiplicity is 1, then the polynomial is said to be separable. Otherwise, the polynomial fx is said to be inseparable. Okay, so now this is the definition which I have given you for an irreducible polynomial. But so that means, given a polynomial, if it is an irreducible polynomial, then you know that how to check whether this is separable or not. But if I give you a polynomial which is not irreducible, okay, so in that case, how to know that whether that is separable or not? So for that, the definition continues, right? So continuing the definition, we have that a non-constant polynomial is separable if all the irreducible factors, if all okay, let me call this, say, gx, a non-constant polynomial gx is separable if all the irreducible factors of gx are separable. So it's very easy to understand this definition, right? Because the polynomial which is itself irreducible, we know the definition. The polynomial which is not irreducible, so it will be reducible. So that means you will be able to write as some product of irreducible factors depending upon what is the degree. So we know that every polynomial can be written as product of irreducible factors. So then gx is going to be separable if each one of them, so these fi x are the irreducible factors of gx. So if these each fi is separable, then gx is also separable. So you can say gx is separable if it is a product of separable polynomials. I hope the definition is clear to all of you. Right, is the definition clear? So let me give you an example now for a polynomial which is not irreducible. So here we have the example. Gx is x cube minus 1 belonging to qx. So clearly gx is reducible over q. Yes. Who is going to tell me the factors of gx? Why it is reducible? Yes. Can anybody tell why it is reducible, not irreducible? How do I know this is reducible?
हमें एक फैक्टर x minus 1 मिल जाएगा हमें.
Yeah, so you can clearly see it's one of the roots is lying in the field itself. So q के ऊपर उसका एक root है which is 1. So that means it is factorizable. It is reducible over q. So I can see one of the roots. So one factor is x minus 1. Yes, what should I write here? Yes, what will be this equal to?
X cube minus x plus 1.
Plus.
Sorry, plus.
X square plus x plus 1. So now this is the polynomial. So this is its factorization into irreducible factors. So now this is individually, let me call this say hx, let me call this kx. So now individually this hx and kx, they are now irreducible, because we know that every linear polynomial is irreducible because it cannot be further broken down. And the second one is irreducible. Kx is irreducible because it is having no roots over the rationals. Okay, so we know they are irreducible. Now I want to know whether hx is separable or kx is separable or not. Yes, so according to the definition of separable, you tell me whether hx is separable or not. So what are the roots of hx? It's a linear polynomial. How many roots it has? Just one root, because it's a linear polynomial, right? It has just one root. So if it is just one root, so it's distinct. So the definition of separability is becomes trivial for a linear polynomial, right? Every linear polynomial is separable because it's just having exactly one root always, and so there is no point of talking about its multiplicity, right? So the linear polynomial, so you can just remember it as a remark. The linear, any linear polynomial, wherever it is going to be, is always separable because it is always going to have just one, exactly one root, and one root means the distinct root. So hx has just single root, therefore hx is separable. What about kx? What are the roots of kx? X square plus x plus 1. So if you find the roots of kx are omega square, where omega is minus 1 plus square root 3 iota by 2. So it's very easy to solve that quadratic equation. So these are going to be the roots of this. Or if you don't want to write omega square, you simply write these are the roots, minus 1 plus minus root 3 iota by 2, because they are complex roots. So we know that they are occurring in conjugate pairs. So these are distinct. Two distinct roots are there, therefore kx is separable. Okay, so now since both hx and kx are separable, so it implies gx which is x cube minus 1, is also separable. So I gave you two examples. The first example was of a polynomial x square minus 2. This was an example of irreducible polynomial. So just directly look at its roots, whether they are distinct, wherever they are, right? They will be in some extension. So wherever they are, they should be distinct. And this is the example of a reducible polynomial. So we had to split it down into the product of irreducibles and then look at the each factor individually for separability. I hope that is clear to everyone. So here we have checked the separability of the polynomial using the definition. Is it clear up till this point? I'm not able to listen. Please hear properly. Please repeat if anybody has any doubt. I could just hear humming sound. Tanu, you are not audible. You can write your query in the chat box. I will be reading from there.
Now I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
आपने gx लिया था x cube minus 1, that belongs to the rational polynomial, but its roots are omega and omega square, that doesn't belongs to rational, so it doesn't matter.
रूट्स तो हाँ, तो तभी तो इररिड्यूसिबल थी ना, उसके रूट्स वहां पे है ही नहीं, तो रूट्स के ऊपर तो कोई कंडीशन नहीं है ना, वो तो कॉन्सेप्ट अलग है। रूट्स हमेशा आपको एक्सटेंशन में ही मिलेंगे।
सिर्फ डिस्टिंक्ट रूट्स की बात हो रही है, अगर फील्ड में हो जाए।
हाँ हाँ, सिर्फ डिस्टिंक्ट रूट्स की बात हो रही है, फील्ड में हो चाहे ना हो, ऐसी कोई कंडीशन नहीं है, राइट? वो उस फील्ड में भी हो सकते हैं और उसकी किसी एक्सटेंशन में भी हो सकते हैं। दैट इज वाई मैंने आपको जब डेफिनेशन दी थी तो यहाँ पे ये वर्ड जो यूज किया था, इन इट्स स्प्लिटिंग फील्ड, तो हो सकता है किसी पॉलिनोमियल का स्प्लिटिंग फील्ड वो फील्ड ही हो जो लीनियर पॉलिनोमियल्स जैसे होती हैं। जैसे यही आप x माइनस 1 की बात कर रहे हो, अगर hx को देखोगे तो इसका रूट यहीं पे है, बट हम सिर्फ उसकी मल्टीप्लिसिटी देख रहे हैं, वो कहाँ पे है उसके ऊपर कोई कंडीशन नहीं है यहाँ पे, राइट? क्योंकि रूट्स को काउंट करना है, वो कितने हैं किसी भी एक्सटेंशन में जाके मिले, बस दैट्स द कंडीशन। Is it clear? I guess, right?
Yes.
Right. So that are the two examples. So in these two examples, we check the separability using definition. Now I will be giving you a result. Okay. Using that result, we will be checking the separability or inseparability. Actually, this is the result which I already stated, result number 2, which I told you that we will be using this in questions, that if you have an irreducible polynomial, then it is going to have a multiple root if and only if f dash x is 0. So all what you need to do is to interpret this result in the context of separability. Okay, so this result is telling you that an irreducible polynomial is separable if and only if f dash x is non-zero, because according to that result what we have according to that result we have that irreducible polynomial is going to have multiple root if and only if the f dash x is 0. So for separability we want simple root, so the condition will become f dash x is non-zero, because this is an if and only if result, so it will use both ways. So it's easy to apply this in example. So let's apply this on the same example. Let's consider again x cube minus 1. We have already known it's separable, but I want to do it with this derivative test. So this is known as the derivative test. Okay, so hx and kx, because this result is for irreducible polynomial, so I am not directly going to apply to gx, I'll be applying to its derivative, sorry, its irreducible factors. So hx is x minus 1, kx is x square plus x plus 1. So if you find derivative of hx, this is 1, non-zero, therefore yes, ये किस field में है? Yes, field has to be very important when you have to decide the it's non-zero or wherever. So this is non-zero over rational, so therefore separable. You find the derivative of k dash kx, which is 2x plus 1. Clearly non-zero. Obviously it's becoming zero somewhere. This non-zero means identically zero नहीं होना चाहिए, means हमेशा ही zero आ जाए वो derivative, right? Identically zero नहीं होना चाहिए, कुछ भी non-zero polynomial constant आएगा, so we will consider it in the category of non-zero. So therefore separable, therefore gx is separable. So ये derivative test काफी जगह हेल्पफुल हो सकता है. I'll give you more examples, क्योंकि ये वाली पॉलिनोमियल तो सिंपल थी, इसको आपने बाय डेफिनेशन भी चेक कर लिया तब भी आपको बहुत इजीली आंसर मिल गया था. बट इन सम एग्जांपल्स इट इज बेनिफिशियल टू यूज दिस डेरिवेटिव टेस्ट. I will show you how. Let me give you another example for the same where we will be using this derivative test. So you consider this polynomial x raised to power p minus x over zp. So now my underlying field is zp. Okay, so if I use this derivative test here, then I will be getting p x raised to power p minus 1 minus 1, which is minus 1, which is non-zero. So therefore this is going to be separable. Is it fine? Is it okay? What you can do to do it in more detail, you can split it into factors. X minus 1 will be one of the factors and the rest of the factors will be there. You will still get the derivative to be non-zero. So this derivative test is generalizable because even in the product rule when you will be using, you will be getting it same. So this test is a general one, so can be applied to many examples. I'll give you more examples for the same in the assignment. There you can check that. So let me now give you next result, which is again for checking separability. So this result tells us an irreducible polynomial fx over a field f of characteristic p is inseparable if and only if fx belongs to fxp. So we are going to do proof of this result. This is an important result. It says that inseparability. It tells about inseparability because the result is a if and only if, so can be used for separability also. So if your polynomial will be written in this form, so you will come to know what do you mean by this form as you proceed in the proof. So if you are able to write your polynomial in this particular form, then that will be inseparable. Otherwise, it is going to be separable. So this is so useful for fields of characteristic P. So this result is for particularly for fields of characteristic P. So let me just start with the proof. So suppose fx is this alpha n xn alpha n minus 1 xn minus 1 alpha naught, taking the leading coefficient to be non-zero because I'm just supposing it is of degree n. So now you do its derivative. So when you do its derivative, you will get this. And the last term is going to be alpha 1 because alpha naught's derivative is going to be 0, the constant term. So yes, f dash x is going to be this. Okay, now we say that it is separable. The above result which I just stated, it is separable. Yes.
Derivative में n minus 1 है first term.
Sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, it will be n minus 1.
Second will be n minus 2.
Yes, and so on. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what I was telling, this result which we just stated, this it's separable if and only if derivative is non-zero. So we can use it inseparable if derivative is 0. One and the same thing, right? Because this result is for inseparable. Howsoever you prove it, but we will be using the 0, 1. So fx is inseparable if and only if the derivative is 0, because in that case it is going to have multiple roots. So now you put this derivative equals to 0. So putting this derivative equals to 0, it's a polynomial. So it's a 0 polynomial. So polynomial is a 0 polynomial if its each term is 0. So all of these will be 0. Alpha 1 will be 0, alpha 2 will be 0, alpha 3 will be 0, and so on. Alpha n will be 0, because that's what we mean by a polynomial. Yes, yes, sorry, a correction here. Yeah, just a minute, let me rewrite this one. I need to relook at the coefficients. Yeah, alpha 1 should be 0. Here it will be 2 times alpha 2, which will be 0, and then n minus 1 times alpha n minus 1 should be 0, and n times alpha n should be 0, because the complete coefficient is this. Right? I hope that is clear to you. The polynomial is going to be 0 polynomial if and only if this is going to happen. Now, what do you mean by this? Okay, alpha 1 0 is okay. What about 2 alpha 2 is equal to 0? How 2 times alpha 2 can be 0? So this gives me two possibilities. Let me do this for a general coefficient. So what is a general form of a coefficient? In general, these coefficients look like k times alpha k, where k is having value up to n minus 1, up to n, sorry, 2, 3, n. So you can look at the coefficients, they are of this form. So this k alpha k is equal to 0 implies either k is 0 or alpha k is 0. Okay, the product of two numbers to be 0. So that means this is going to happen because you are in a field. Now, which field you are in? We are in a field of characteristic P. So in a field of characteristic P, what do you mean by to be equals to 0? So here we can write either alpha k is 0, and if alpha k is non-zero, then k is 0. So k 0 means k is a divisor of, sorry, k is a multiple of p, because in a field of characteristic P, which numbers are 0? In Z5, we have 5 is equal to 0, we have 10 is equal to 0. So any multiple of the P is going to be 0. So if a number is becoming 0, it has to be a multiple of the prime number P. So that means P divides K. So I can write K as some beta times P. Now this K is having, this is actually index because it is having values from 2 to 3 to n. So let me give this beta also the index, because for k is equal to 2, it will be a different multiple. For k is equal to 3, it will be a different multiple of p. So this beta, I have taken it as a indexing number. So this is the substitution we are going to make in the polynomial. So this k happens to be beta k times p. So what is your f dash x? So you substitute the back the value of here this k in that, what was k? Let me show you. This was f dash x, n times alpha n. Let me write the original f dash x. Plus alpha 1. So this was representing k alpha k. So alpha k is going to retain this k, n minus 1 is going to return as a multiple of p. So it will be like beta n into p. Alpha n remains alpha n into x raised to power n, because the original coefficient is k alpha k. So alpha k is there. K, for k I am substituting beta k into p. So for n it is beta n into p. For n minus 1 it is beta n minus 1 into p. Alpha, yes.
Derivative का first coefficient x raised to power n minus 1 होगा ना, और दूसरा x raised to power n.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just wrote by mistake. Yeah, here it will be x. Yeah, fine. Thank you. So it's x raised to power n minus 1, n minus 2. Yeah, and so on. So finally it will be 2 alpha 2 will be beta 2 into p into alpha 2 into x, and alpha 1 is 0, right? This was we just concluded in the beginning, alpha 1 is 0, so there is no substitution for alpha 1, right? Fine. So from here we can see that this is going to be f dash x. So we have to now write fx from here. What is going to be fx? So you see, you can write, let me just do one more step. Beta n into alpha n into p, x raised to power n minus 1 plus beta n minus 1 into alpha n minus 1 into p, x raised to power n minus 2 beta 2 into alpha 2 p into x. So you can see in f dash x, in every coefficient, p is coming as a multiple. Does not matter what is this beta n into alpha n, it is going to be an element of the field of characteristic p. It will be something. What we are interested here is that p is occurring as a coefficient in f dash x. So in fx, definitely every term should be like this, x raised to power p, because only then when you differentiate, then p comes as a multiple. Are you getting this point? So like if you are in z3, so if you have term like x cube, so only then 3x square will be coming. And then if you have a term like x raised to power 6, only then it will be 6x raised to power 5. So 6 is a multiple of 3, right? And then term will be like x raised to power 9, because then 9 will be coming as a multiple x raised to power 8. So this 9 is also a multiple of 3. So if you want this p is equal to 3 occurring everywhere in the coefficient, so that means in the original polynomial it should be occurring in the power, x raised to power p, some multiple will be there. So that means each of these terms, x raised to power in fx, is going to be something like x raised to power p. Okay, something like that, into n. Let me write it, gamma n minus 1, x raised to power p n minus 1, and so on, gamma naught. So it's just intuitively developed that this will be the form of fx, because now when you differentiate this, then the p will be coming as a multiple. Is it clear?
Ma'am, alpha 1
0 है बेटा, अल्फा 1 हमने प्रूव किया, मैथमेटिकली निकाला था, अल्फा 1 is 0.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, we did this calculation, अल्फा 1 is 0.
Okay, ma'am.
So इसमें बस ये लास्ट पॉइंट ही समझने वाला है कि डेरिवेटिव में हर टर्म में p मल्टीपल में तभी आएगा जब सारी टर्म्स x रेज टू पावर p टाइप की होंगी. ओके, सो पॉलिनोमियल आपकी x रेज टू पावर p टाइप की होगी. तो आप z3 में हो तो वहां पे उस पॉलिनोमियल में x रेज टू पावर 4 ऐसी टर्म आएगी नहीं, क्योंकि जब इसका डेरिवेटिव करोगे सो इट विल बी 4x क्यूब. तो ये 4 नहीं आना चाहिए यहाँ पे, ये मल्टीपल ऑफ 3 ही होगा, क्योंकि जब 3 के मल्टीपल सारे कोएफिशिएंट्स में आ जाएंगे और आप z3 में होगे, तब वो f dash x क्या हो जाएगा, 0, क्योंकि फील्ड का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है, 3. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर डूइंग हियर. क्योंकि उस फील्ड का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक p है, तो डेरिवेटिव को 0 बनने के लिए सारे मल्टीपल्स p के आने चाहिए, क्योंकि 0 होने का मतलब है p का मल्टीपल होना, और p आने के लिए ये सारे पावर्स x रेज टू पावर p टाइप्स होने चाहिए. ओके, सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द फॉर्म ऑफ your what should I say, and it will be different, right? It will not be n, it will be different, because original polynomial में अगर x raised to power n था, तो this n is basically, all what I'm saying, this n is a multiple of p. So yeah, this will be of different degree when you write it in x raised to power p form. I'll show you with the help of an example, then it will be more clear. But right now I just need to show that this belongs to this polynomial ring, बिकॉज इसमें x रेज टू पावर p वाली ही टर्म्स आएंगी और कोई टर्म्स नहीं आएंगी. इज दिस क्लियर? इज द प्रूफ क्लियर? Why I have done the proof? Because the proof will help you to do the calculations in example. And because at every step, whatever steps we have done, they all are if and only if steps. If f dash is x is this, then fx is this. If fx is this, then f dash x is this. So all the steps are reversible. That's why this proof is working for if and only if case, because the result which we have used is also if and only if, so it automatically proves it for the if and only if case. So inseparable if and only if fx belongs to this, because uh, you will see this in example. We will prove this in particular kind of example. We will use this, and then how this is going to give us the inseparability. So let me give you example where we will be using this theorem's result to check the separability. So you consider the polynomial x raised to power 6 plus x cube plus 1 over z3. So this is irreducible polynomial over Z3. So proving irreducibility is another task, or checking irreducibility is another task. So that is something you already know, how to check a given polynomial is irreducible. So you do that yourself. This is irreducible. And now when you apply this result, so this fx can be written like x raised to power 6 plus x cube plus 1. I can write it x raised to power cube square plus x cube plus 1. So you see, I can write every power as a multiple of 3. So it's very easy to see all the powers which are appearing, if they are multiples of your underlying field 3. So like 3 is here, 6 is here, it could be 9 also, but there could not be 8. So if your polynomial is that type, then it is definitely going to be inseparable. So you see, such a strong result it is. Without finding its roots, we know that it is inseparable. We know that it is going to have a multiple root. So this is a benefit. Without finding the roots, we are having the information that there will be some roots which will be having multiplicity greater than 1. So this polynomial is inseparable, right? Now we come to the next definition. So now we already clear with the meaning of separable polynomial. So now let me give you the definition of separable element. If an element A belongs to K is algebraic over F. So firstly, the element, we are calling an element to be separable. The first condition is it should be an algebraic element. Only then we are going to talk. So if an element is algebraic over F, then A is said to be separable over F. So obviously the relationship between F and K is this, because that's clear from here that K has been taken from the extension. Only then we can use this terminology that A is algebraic over F. Okay, so then A is said to be separable over F if the minimal polynomial of A over F is separable. Otherwise, the element is said to be inseparable, right? So because we know the element is algebraic, it is definitely going to have a polynomial over F with which it will be satisfying that polynomial. And we know that for every algebraic element, there exists a minimal polynomial, the unique monic irreducible polynomial. If that irreducible polynomial turns out to be a separable polynomial, then the element is separable, otherwise inseparable. So you already now know about the separability of polynomials. So if the polynomial of an element is separable, so the element is separable, right? And this further gives me the definition of separable extension, that an algebraic extension k of f is said to be separable if a belongs to k is separable for all a. That means every element of that extension, if it happens to be a separable element, then the extension is said to be a separable extension, right? So it will be like, if it is k is containing f, so k is separable if a belongs to k implies a is separable, and that is true when the minimal polynomial of a is separable. So let me give you an example of a separable extension. So this is separable extension of q because ओके अब हमें सिर्फ स्क्वायर रूट 5 पे ही फोकस करना है क्योंकि बाकी एलिमेंट्स तो फील्ड के ही हैं. क्यू रूट 5 में रूट 5 इज द ओनली प्रॉब्लमेटिक एलिमेंट जो फील्ड में नहीं है. बाकी जो फील्ड के एलिमेंट्स हैं, जो रैशनल नंबर्स हैं, उनकी जो पॉलिनोमियल्स होंगी वो तो लीनियर पॉलिनोमियल्स होंगी, राइट? क्यू के हर एलिमेंट की मींस आप ये कह सकते हो कि every element of the field itself is separable over itself. It is just the extra elements which are coming from the extension, they needs to be checked. So हमें सिर्फ root 5 के बारे में check करना है, right? Right. So we already know that root 5 is algebraic over Q. Yes. What is the minimal polynomial of root 5 over Q?
X square minus 5.
Yeah, x square minus 5. So what is that polynomial? Now we just need to know whether this is separable polynomial or not. Yes, is it separable? Is it separable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so this is clearly separable. But अब यहाँ पे आके अब आपको जितने भी separability check करने के तरीके सिखाए हैं, because ये irreducible होगी, जो minimal polynomial होगी वो irreducible होगी, तो आप derivative test भी use कर सकते हो अगर आपको roots नहीं find करने. हालांकि एक root तो आपके पास है और ये polynomial तो easy है, आप roots भी find कर सकते हो कि उसके दो रूट्स हैं, स्क्वायर रूट 5 एंड माइनस स्क्वायर रूट 5, वो डिस्टिंक्ट हैं. सो ये बाय डेफिनेशन हो गया. अगर आप उसका डेरिवेटिव निकालना चाहते हो तो वो देख लो. अब ये डेरिवेटिव 2x नॉन जीरो, डेफिनेटली नॉन जीरो होगा क्योंकि आपका फील्ड रैशनल है, तो z2 नहीं है. z2 होता अगर आपका अंडरलाइंग फील्ड तो ये जीरो बन जाता डेरिवेटिव. अब ये डेरिवेटिव जो है उसका नॉन जीरो है, दैट इज वाई सेपरेबल. सो जो भी आप टेस्ट लगाना चाहते हो दोनों में से लगा सकते हो. So yes, this minimal polynomial of this element is separable. So root 5 is separable element over Q. It implies Q root 5 is separable extension of Q. Right? So this is an example, and now I'll give you a result. उसका proof हम next time करेंगे, or maybe we'll skip the proof. It is going to be a bigger theorem. So this is the result we have. Every non-zero polynomial over a field of characteristic 0 is separable. It's such an important result. तो आपको जो above example हमने किया है Q root 2 वाला, क्योंकि आप over Q देख रहे हो and Q is a field of characteristic 0, तो आपको कुछ भी चेक करने की जरूरत नहीं है. It is going to be separable. Every polynomial is going to be separable, right? So that means अब सिर्फ हमें उन फील्ड्स के ऊपर बॉदर करना है जिनका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक 0 नहीं है, P कैरेक्टरिस्टिक वाली फील्ड. तो जितने भी मैंने आपको सेपरेबिलिटी टेस्ट सिखाए हैं, तो जीरो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है अगर आपके फील्ड का, क्यू है, आर है आपका अंडरलाइन फील्ड, डायरेक्टली यू राइट दैट इज अ सेपरेबल पॉलिनोमियल. एवरी पॉलिनोमियल, irreducible नहीं, every polynomial is separable. Okay, so that's a very strong result. Is this clear? मतलब आप फील्ड देखोगे, अच्छा आपके फील्ड का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक जीरो है, तो कोई भी पॉलिनोमियल उस फील्ड के ऊपर लिखी हुई है वो सेपरेबल ही होगी. यू डोंट नीड टू यूज एनी टेस्ट फॉर चेकिंग द सेपरेबिलिटी. एंड दैट इज वाई, इसी से एक मतलब इसी से आप इंप्लाई कर सकते हो दैट एवरी algebraic extension of a field of characteristic 0 is separable. So Q के कोई भी algebraic extension होगी वो उसकी separable extension होगी, algebraic होनी चाहिए, right? Polynomial के लिए we just call it separable, but जब हम element पे आते हैं या extension पे आते हैं then it has to be first algebraic. So this is the result. There are more results, so we'll discuss them next time. That's all for today we have. I hope that is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay then, that's all for today. Thank you.